G'day legends, Universal Audio have just dropped a new plugin called Topline. This is basically a one and done style plugin. It has everything you need in it to pull a really great vocal sound. It's got vocal tuning, you've got EQ, compression, you've got a preamp section for adding color. There's also effects, you can add spatial effects, you can add delay, and you can add reverb all within the one plugin. So you can get a really finished and polished vocal sound with just one plugin. So if you want to see how we can take a vocal from sounding like this,
wake me up, I think I'm dreaming,
to sounding like this,
wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between.
then stick around because we're going to dive right into this plugin and see what it can do. So this is Topline, and this is our tuning section right here. And if you've ever used Auto-Tune before, this would look pretty familiar to you. Up here, you can choose your scale and you can choose the key of the song as well. We've got the speed, which is how fast the tuning reacts, and the depth, which is basically like a mix knob. Now, one thing that's pretty cool with Topline is there's also the key finder. And I've loaded the key finder before Topliner. So this is our first plugin in the channel strip. And what we're going to do is play the track, and I'm going to click on listen, and it's going to listen to the vocals, and it's going to try and figure out the key of the song. So let's see how it goes.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming.
All right, so this is pretty cool. It's gotten it right, G sharp minor, and it's given us a couple of secondary options in case that's not quite right. So if you try that and there's some weird stuff going on, then you could maybe try the C sharp minor, but G sharp minor is right for this song. Now, something that's cool over here in our Topline plugin, you see this little key finder button. If we have this clicked on, and then we click on the send, it's going to send the key that we've just discovered into Topline. And then once I press play, you'll see that it changes to the key that is found over here.
Somewhere between the.
So that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's add some pitch correction to this.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the other. I've been tethered, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed, So that sounds pretty cool. It doesn't need a whole bunch of pitch correction, but you can hear it does the auto-tune thing pretty well if you need it to. Wake me up.
So you can do that if you want. Then over here we have our vocal shift, so we can play with the pitch.
I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the other. I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed.
So pretty cool, and there's a mix knob here as well, so if you wanted to have the low vocal and then just mix it in a bit.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the.
Having this switch on live mode puts it into a low latency mode, which makes it better for using while tracking. Okay, so we come at the top and we click on our next section. You can see we've got an analog section, dynamics, and EQ. You can switch the dynamics and EQ around just by clicking up the top here. So you can have EQ before compression or compression then EQ, whatever your flavor is. So over here on the analog section, there's a couple of options that you can choose from. So let's flick through these so you can hear the difference they add.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the other.
So you can quickly add a flavor to your vocal. If it sounded really dull, you'd maybe go for one of these present bright ones. Or if it sounds a little too bright, then maybe you would go with something more like the vintage, which was a lot darker, and you could dull it down. It just depends on the flavor that you're looking for. I actually like the sound of the flat on this one, but we can further play the color by playing with these two knobs down the bottom here.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the other. I've been tethered, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed. Oh.
So it's giving us a slightly saturated sound, which actually sounds pretty pleasing to the vocal. So we've got our dynamic section here, and in this there's a gate, there's a de-esser, and there's compression, and a couple of different flavors of compression. So let's flick through this so you can hear the differences.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the other. I've been tethered, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed.
So a couple of different flavors there to choose from. For this, I'm liking tight and I'm also liking warm. So I might go with the warm one.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck.
Now we might need a little bit of makeup gain because it does sound like it's gone a little bit quieter now. And over here we've got gain, so let's boost this up a little.
Somewhere between the
Okay, let's check out this de-esser and the gate.
dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the
So you can see when this goes orange, the gate is engaged.
me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck.
So the compression has definitely warmed the vocal up. The de-esser is taking away the harshness of the S's and T's, and the gate is cleaning up all the gaps in between. So that's pretty cool. Let's check out what this EQ can do.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the
So flicking through that gives you the option of where you want these EQ boosts and cuts to be.
I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the other. I've been tethered, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed. Oh.
High pass and low pass filters up the top hand corners. We also have an air knob down the bottom here.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck.
When you put your mouse over the EQ, you'll see these points here, which let you adjust the EQ even further.
Somewhere between the here and the other. I've been tethered, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed. Oh.
So within the EQ choice that you've selected, whether it's brilliant, full range, or mid-range focus, there'll be a couple of EQ points that you can drag around to adjust the overall tone.
I'm paralyzed, oh.
Alright, I think that's sounding pretty nice. Removing a little bit of mid-range, just adding a little bit of air to the top end and just making it sound a little bit richer in the lows as well. Okay, so then over into our effects section. So we'll click up here and you can see we've got three options: modulation, delay, and reverb. So let's have a look at our modulation to start with.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the other. I've been tethered, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed. Oh.
So a cool way of adding a little bit of extra effect to your vocal, obviously that's very dramatic, but if we pull that back to maybe around 20, 30%.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the other.
I like that. So let's have a look at our delay section. Up the top, we can set the delay time. We can pick whether it's just stereo delay, wide, or a ping pong style. I'm going to go ping pong and maybe just change this to an eighth note instead of a dotted eighth. And then you can add modulation. You can also send this into the reverb. So when we click on this and drag it up, you can see that we now have a connection from here, which is going up to this little arrow, sending the delay into the reverb, which is a cool effect. So let's have a listen to what types of delay we've got here.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the other.
So a couple of different flavors to choose from. We also have modulation.
I've been tethered, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed. Oh.
Always like a little bit of modulation on delay and reverb. I think it adds a really cool effect. Then there is also the effects duck. So if we push this up, it's going to push down the effects while the vocals are singing. This is a great way of just keeping the vocals sounding clean and then letting the effects trail out after the vocals are done.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between between the here and the other.
So that sounds pretty cool. And we've got our reverb section over here. So we've got a plate, a room, ambience, chamber, and a hall. So let's check these out.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the other.
So a couple of different flavors there. Now, one thing that's cool about both of these effects, you can see up the top here, you can also add high pass and low pass filters to your delay and your reverb. So we might roll off some of the lows, roll off some of the highs. Let's see what that sounds like. So that's pretty cool, and you can also add pre-delay.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the other. I've been tethered, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed. Oh.
That sounds pretty nice. So let's hear the raw vocal again, and then the vocal that we just dialed in, and see how it sounds.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming, I think I'm stuck somewhere between the here and the other. I've been tethered, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed, I'm paralyzed. Oh.
So pretty cool. The mixed vocal definitely sits in there a little bit nicer, just with that little bit of warm compression, the effects adding to the space. Sounds pretty cool. But pretty awesome. There's a bunch of options within this plugin to pull a vocal sound, get it to sit in the mix the way you like without having to reach for a bunch of other plugins to do it. So if you think this plugin looks like something you'd be interested in trying out and using in your mixes, there will be a link in the description below. You can go test it out for yourself and grab a copy while the intro price is running. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to support this channel, check out the link in the description below to my website. Go check out my range of drum samples and mixing courses. Grabbing any of that stuff really helps support the time that goes into making content. If you have trouble mixing MIDI drums, then check out this next video coming up. I'll show you everything you need to know to get a great drum sound using MIDI.
Wake me up, I think I'm dreaming,